Welcome to Rewatch and Rank. On this channel, we rewatch older TV shows, provide a summary and opinion on the episode before ranking each episode against each other. Today's episode is Solo Leveling Season 1, Episode 7.5, How to Get Stronger. The episode in a nutshell is a brief reminder of what happens in the episode. So this episode, or this video that I'm filming, is going to be extremely brief because all this episode was a brief recap of the last 7 episodes, of which we have full-length videos for, narrated by the main character, but he's not really adding anything new. He's just basically narrating what's on screen and summarizing his journey, which we've already seen. So now that we know what happened in the episode, it's time to rank the episode. As always, we will be ranking on our mostly objective ranking list first, followed by the personal ranking list. And I'm not joking when I say that this episode will be brief. First, we have our setup or recap episode. That is worth -1 point. The lowest score possible, however, is only 1 point. Therefore, this is a 1 out of 10 episode. With it being a 1 out of 10 episode, that brings our mostly objective ranking to in first. I'm used to it. If I had one more chance, it's like a game, a pretty good deal, the real hunt begins, let's see how far I can go, I've got to get stronger, and then this episode is in last place, how to get stronger. Personal ranking. Now, this may surprise you, but I was actually very generous. And I gave this episode a 2 out of 10. And the reason it got a 2 and it didn't get a 1 was solely because the hunt begins when he was killing all the other hunters in that episode with the epic background music and the just so casual slicing of the first guy's throat before using his dagger on everybody and then just getting rid of all of the threats and telling the guy before he kills him, oh, I've got a secret. I've been leveling up this whole time. Oh my goodness, I love that scene. I love that scene so much. And it did take up a good chunk of the end of this episode, and I got to re-see it again, which I thought was worth an extra point because I really like that scene. Really like that scene. I actually went back and rewound it and watched it yet again. So there was value in this episode to me because one of my favorite scenes happened to be in full, unedited, in this recap. And I think that's because even the people who were creating the show knew that this was the money shot. But even with the 2 out of 10, it does bring the personal ranking to The Real Hunt Begins, which was in first because that was an epic scene. Then, let's see how far I can go. A pretty good deal. I've got to get stronger. It's like a game. I'm used to it. If I had one more chance. And then this episode is also for me in last place, How to Get Stronger. Because ultimately, while I loved rewatching that scene, there was nothing new, and that scene already exists in the #1 episode so far, The Real Hunt Begins. That now brings us to the series ranking so far, and I didn't know this episode existed. Before I start filming a series, I go online and I get the episode list so that I know what all the titles are beforehand and how many episodes to film just so I have an idea. And this episode wasn't even on the episode list because it is purely and completely just a recap. So I did not know that it existed, therefore I did not calculate it into the final scoring until this episode, but going forward, it will be out of 130, not 120. So ignore the 120 that you heard in the previous videos, it's now 130. But on our mostly objective ranking, with the additional of the 1 point from this episode, we are now at 69 out of a possible 130. And then on the personal ranking side, with the addition of 2 points, we are now at 47 out of 130. And with that, we've now rewatched and ranked Solo Leveling Season 1, Episode 7.5, How to Get Stronger. Like and subscribe if you'd like to, and I'll see you in the next episode, and this video was under 5 minutes.